Hi there, it's Jason from Heap of Jeep. Welcome to a Heap of Jeep bonus video. Why is it a bonus video? Because today we are changing the thermostat on my wife's 1999 Oldsmobile Intrigue. Not a Jeep, so a bonus. So changing a thermostat isn't rocket science in most vehicles, including this Intrigue. But I did not find any other videos about changing a thermostat on an Oldsmobile Intrigue with the 3.5 engine, and it is a little different. The thermostat's a little different than on most other vehicles. So let's take a look at that. Now on this particular car, the thermostat comes in one piece like this. It has the housing. This is the thermostat here on every other car I've ever worked, in fact every other car I've ever worked on, this is a separate piece. On the Jeep it's a separate piece and fits into a housing that looks very similar to this, but you take the housing off and pull the thermostat out. On this one it's all one piece. It comes with a little seal here, so you don't really need a gasket. I've changed it on this car before and it went out again, so now I've got to change it again. First thing I want to do is slide a catch pan underneath here to try and catch as much of that coolant that's going to come out of there as possible. We're probably not going to be able to get it all, but if we can get most of it, that'll be good. It's only been a few months since I've done this. This other one went out again. It's not working right, so I don't think these clamps should be too difficult to get off. And I'm just using some channel locks and see if I can do this while you're here so you can see what I'm doing. Maybe we'll go for well, I'm not going to be able to do this with you sitting right here, so let me get those off and then we'll get the camera back on. Okay, so I got two of the hoses off. This one, there's not a lot of play in it because it's so short, so I think I'm gonna have to pull the housing off and then pull the housing off from the hose. I think that's how I had to do it last time. So I don't know what the original size of these bolts were because I had to replace them last time because one of them snapped off. And then the other one is a little hard to get to. I don't know if I can show it on the camera here. It's pretty hard to see the other one. It's the belt, the serpentine belt is sort of like right in the way of it, so you need a long enough socket, like a deep well. I've got a 1/4 inch on a 3/8 adapter. That just gives me just about the perfect length to reach in there and get around that belt to get that off. You could take the belt off and get to it probably a little easier, but I don't want to do that. Hey, now you can take a pry bar or a screwdriver or something and just pull that off. And there goes a bunch more fluid. Now we can get it off this other hose. And there she is. There's the old one. I don't know why it failed so quickly, but it did. It's only about 3 months old since I changed it, but time for a new one. There you go. And since it was so hard to take the old one off with the hose being so short, I'm just going to slide it onto this hose first. I don't remember what the original torque specs were. I remember I looked them up the last time, and when I torqued the bolts down to the torque specs, that's when one of them snapped off. And if it wasn't for the fact that there was just a hair of it hanging out of the head there, I would have had to get a drill and an easy out and a sideways drill bit, and would have just had a lot of fun. So whatever the torque specs were, I'm not following them. I'm just going snug. And if I see coolant leaking, then I'll snug it up just a hair more. But I'm not torquing it down to what they were. Just nice and snug, and that's what I did last time, and that's how she worked. It worked fine. Gotta get these hoses back on. Ooh. Once again, I'm finding it hard to get these clamps on there with the camera in the way, so let me move you and I'll get the clamps on. And now we just got to fill it with coolant. With it being a closed system, we're going to have to bleed it a little differently than if you have just a regular overflow valve. But we should be able to get it. After we get it full of coolant, you got to check and make sure there's no leaks. I'm not seeing any leaks. But we're going to let this heat up, get it nice and warm, and add more coolant if we have to. I don't know if you can see down there, but it's up to the full cold line. And then over here on the radiator, there's this little thing right there. And if you loosen that up, that's like a little valve kind of thing, and it'll let air out if there's air trapped in the system. Alright, so after a quick test drive, looks like it's doing fine. It's not overheating anymore, and the heat in the car seems to be working. So there you go. That wraps up the first, what did I call it? So that wraps up the first Heap of Jeep bonus video. If you'd like to see videos of me fixing up my Jeep, just click up somewhere around here where it says subscribe, and you'll be subscribed to all my Jeep fixing videos and the occasional bonus video as well. And let this be a lesson to you. I just changed that thermostat 4 or 5 months ago, maybe not even that long, and threw away the receipt. It has a 1-year replacement warranty on it. It's 20 bucks for that particular thermostat because it's in the housing. So it cost me 20 bucks because I didn't save the receipt. So save all your part receipts, put them somewhere safe so that if you have a problem, a lot of lifetime warranty parts out there, you want to be able to take advantage of the lifetime warranty. This new one, they actually put my phone number in, so I've got a record at the store itself of me buying it. So just let it be a lesson to you. So don't do stupid stuff like I just did. That's going to wrap it up. Thank you, everybody. Click subscribe. Check us out on Facebook, Heap of Jeep. We're on Twitter now, Heap of Jeep, at Heap of Jeep. And yeah, check us out online, www.heapofjeep.com.